I'm Vicki, if I think you all know me, and Maureen and I are education committee team members, co-chairs this year. And we'd like to introduce our first speaker for the new year, and it's Pam Mountain of CUA. Pam is a mobile banking specialist, and she's awesome. And if you haven't worked with her yet, you want to. So Pam, I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, well, good morning. As Vicki said, I'm a mobile banking specialist, which is essentially like a broker, but I work primarily with Credit Union Atlantic. I have been with Credit Union Atlantic almost 30 years now and have really gone through every step of the banking industry that you could imagine. So I'm just kind of, I've found a role that I absolutely adore, and that is as a mobile banking specialist. So what I'm here to talk about, I believe Vicki would have sent out the information about our, we have an amazing home financing program. And because as a credit union, we are provincially regulated, we can do a lot of things different than the banks. So in saying that, like, we are able to offer the no down payment mortgage, which then we give cash back to pay off that loan if that's what you're interested in. So the way it works is we offer, like, if I always like to use about a $200,000 mortgage, which is unreal at this point, but I'll just go to that. So it's a $200,000 mortgage. We give you then a loan for the down payment, which would be $10,000. And so on the day of disbursement, so you have to be approved through CMHC or Session for both of those, the mortgage and the loan. You have to qualify for both. And then on the day of disbursement, we then put 5% of the mortgage balance back into your checking account or into your account with the credit union. So those funds, as long as your debt service ratio is under 40%, you can literally do anything with that money. If you need new furniture, if you need to go south, if you need whatever you want, because you've qualified for that loan. A lot of people come to me that don't have their closing costs. We can use it for closing costs. We can use it, they use it for anything. So at that point in time, they're going to have a mortgage and a loan with us, or a mortgage and the loan is almost all paid out in the end. So that's what we're able to offer. Any questions? No.
Everybody's quiet.
Everybody's quiet. Okay. All right. And with that, we also allow purchase plus improvement as well with the no down payment mortgage. I just had somebody call me a few minutes ago to try and understand it. So as I explained to her, it's a $200,000 purchase, $40,000 worth of improvements. The improvements we have to have quotes on, like any purchase plus improvements. And then of course your down payment is based on the $240,000. And again, we would give you the loan for the down payment of the $240,000 for the $240,000, and then again the cash back would come in the same way. We would give 5% of that new mortgage balance.
Are you finding it more of a challenge, Pam, or do you find the buyers are finding it more of a challenge to get the quotes, because we would have to get our quotes before we get the
yes and no, but and this is being recorded, but normally what I say to clients is, we do not pay to the quotes provided. We pay to the quotes after the work is done. So if you are getting a quote from Joe Blow and you want to make it your own quote, Joe Blow's flooring, and just get some pricing that is relatively close, I can send those off to CMHC or Session. And then at that point in time, when the work is being done, if the homeowner wants to do the work themselves, they just provide us with the receipts and the work that's been done. And we usually require pictures or something, depending on how we place it with Session or CMHC. So it's not that we have to have people going back into the house, because I know there's only allowed a certain amount of time. Yep. So, yeah. And I did see somebody had a question there about rates. Somebody ever. So our rates for this program is 3.99% for the first 5 years. And that's covering everything, because of course, you get that money back. We're giving you a loan, and then we're giving you the money for the down payment, or the down payment, and then the money back. After 5 years, it would be in the same pool with all the rest. You would be able to get, the competitive rates that we have for renewals. So it does work out. As I say to people, you're paying $1,500 to $2,000 a month rent every month for the next 60 months. How much is that going to cost you? So it does work out to be better to get into a mortgage at 3.99 than it does for paying that kind of rent.
I might have missed it. Was that fixed?
Fixed 5 years, yes. Yeah. At the credit union, we only have fixed rates here at, but we are offering right now, we've got a really good program going on that we are also offering a 2.05% rate for 5 years insured mortgage, which is probably one of the best in the industry right now.
So am I, the no money down mortgage, it's 2 payments, like a payment for the loan and the mortgage payment?
That's correct. That's correct. And they have to,
they're both at the same interest rate?
no, that interest rate will depend. It's a loan rate. So it's not a mortgage rate.
Okay.
So that depends. Usually it's about 8 or 9%, but then they do have the opportunity to pay off the loan with the cash back.
Okay.
Anything else?
Do they have to take the full amount for the percentage of the cash back, or can they go anywhere beneath?
They can go anywhere at all, but I mean, it's better if they take the whole amount. They're offered that whole amount. Now, I mean, they can just take it and put it right on the loan. So that's the best thing to do, especially if they have their closing costs. Not everybody has their closing costs, as you know. So this is allowing them to get in and paying, as long as they qualify and their debt service ratio is under 40%, then we can give them both they can take those funds and do with what they want. And I've seen 50-50. I've got one sitting on my desk that I just dispersed yesterday that they want to pay off the loan because they did have $5,000 or $6,000 as savings for closing costs. So.
Is the down payment loan forgivable, or is there no penalty to pay it off? So if they pay it off immediately, there's
no penalty at all. No,
okay.
There shouldn't ever be a penalty on a loan, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know in my years. So yeah, it's just, again, like I said, they could pay it off the next day after they've after their mortgage has gone through, after they've closed. Yeah, so there's no costs at all. So the only big thing that people worry about is the 3.99%. But again, if you can get them into a house as opposed to paying rent, they're better off.
Is that available for many homes as well?
No, unfortunately, it's not. A mini home on their own land, yes, but not mini home in a park.
Yeah, okay.
Because mini home in a park is a loan, so we can't get penalties from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's only on their own land.
Okay.
And right about now, they're as priced as high as homes on their when you're looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my phone ringing here. There we go. So yeah, so anything else anybody would like to know about the credit union or what we offer? Like I said, we've got some great rates for programs. We operate exactly the same as the banks in qualifications and stuff like that. There's nothing different. We have to follow the Bank Act, even though we're provincially regulated in a lot of things. But this is one program that we are allowed to use that the banks cried about, but they haven't been able to take it away from us yet. So we're a little happy with that.
Are there any limitations? For example, if there was a mixed-use building that had a store and an apartment, would that be something that someone could use this financing on?
As long as they're living in, I can't answer that 100%. Depending on what it's zoned as. Okay. Like if it's zoned R2, then no. But if it's a residential, then, I mean, people have had if there's not a storefront, if somebody's running a business in the back, we could look at that as long as they're living in it. And this would be anything for up to 4-unit building that somebody has to live in. What are the units?
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So it's really meant to be a residential program.
Yes,
per
it
se.
is. Our commercial department would handle something else, and I don't think I'm pretty sure they don't offer that.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Pam, will you have something PDF-ish that you could send us later after this to maybe give to potential clients?
Vic, didn't I send it to you?
Yeah, it's already been, it was attached to the reminder email, I believe.
Yes.
Oh,
Where
well,
you went.
there you go. Okay,
There's
I'll go
two
search.
PDFs in there, Holly.
I'll go search for it.
Okay.
Thank
Pam,
you.
Too busy doing your good deeds, Holly, on the day we received that.
Oh, that's exactly what I was doing. No emails were read that day.
so what is the interest rate right now for a mini home in a park, Pam? What is?
You know what? I can probably, it's not great because we can't get anything out back from them. But in a park, I was just able to get 3.79, which isn't great, but I mean, it's a smaller mortgage. Yeah. But again, I can actually broker that one through League Savings and Mortgage and get a better rate from them if need be. Because they normally do it at probably 2.6.
Not too bad considering a lot of young people can't get into a home.
I know exactly. It's scary out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not much for inventory.
No.
No. How are you guys finding it?
I offered 140 over the other night and lost.
Oh my God.
Oh,
My God.
I know an agent in our brokerage that offered almost 200 over and did not get first or backup.
Ugh.
I know that's
Crazy.
No,
Well,
it's wild. It's wild. It's like the Wild West.
yeah. And I'm seeing an awful lot of mortgages or people coming through from the West, Ontario and West, and they're just buying a house down here and moving down. They can work from home, so they don't care where they're living, and they don't mind paying. Well, I've got one right now, 279,000 for a mini home on land, but it's in nowhere. So they don't mind paying that kind of money because in Ontario, they're paying 3 times that for a home.
Well, they're probably mortgage free too, in a lot
Yeah.
of ways, or have a very small mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. My mother's near Digby, but they're finding now people are there for a year and then now they're starting to sell because they realize there actually is nothing there.
There's not anything there, Vic.
Yeah, Dad says I could have told them.
So
Yeah.
I can speak to the Ontario thing. Coming from Ontario about a year and a half ago now.
Okay.
I lived in a home for 3 years, sold that home and was $20,000 short paying cash for my house here with the equity that I had.
Yeah.
So now mortgage free, having paid that.
Wow,
And
good for you, Joe.
it's very attractive to be able
Yeah.
to sell your home and have no mortgage that you've had for 20 years that you're never going to seem to get paid, it seems. So it's very attractive for buyers.
Did you have roots here, or is it just something you just decided to come down here?
I came down to the Eastern Shore. I'm out on the Eastern Shore. My brother and sister-in-law live out here and
Okay.
fell in love with it here. The people here are awesome. And I really like it here. So a big adjustment. Just like Vicky was saying, there's not a lot happening out here until you get into the community a bit and start to get to know people. I'm surprised at the amount of word of mouth that still goes on here. It's like going back many, many years in time here. So, but it's an awesome place. And,
Good to hear.
well,
Yeah.
just want to let you know why buyers are so motivated to come here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, totally. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Are you finding a lot of the really high over ask offers that are coming through? are you finding they're getting rejected or are they getting accepted?
At first, we were struggling with the insurers. They were having to do desktop, that like they couldn't understand the insurers in Ontario when our market started to change. Remember that one we did, Vic, with Ryan?
Yes.
And it took so long for them to get a desktop appraisal done because he had offered, his was 110, I think, over asking.
Mhm.
And this was last year in around this time, or maybe a little bit later in March or April. And they had never seen anything like that, the insurers in Nova Scotia. So that took a bit, but now I'm not finding they've caught up. It's taken them a bit, but the insurers have caught up. And for us, as long as we've got their insurance, we're fine. We're
Are you
happy to
finding
do it.
that it's triggering appraisals on your end, though, Pam?
The
more
insurers
appraisal?
are, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. And the insurance and the appraisal companies right now are just run right off their feet.
Mhm.
Because I mean, there's just so much out there. All the insurers are asking them to do the appraisals, and they're backed up like you wouldn't believe.
Mhm.
It's taken 2 and 3 weeks for somebody to get out and see a house.
Yeah, if you're
So
lucky.
if,
Yeah.
so if the appraisal comes back, like these ones that are going for 200 grand over, and the appraisal does not appraise at that, what happens then?
I haven't seen that yet, but I do know
Oh,
that
really?
then it's if you haven't seen it, like if they can't meet the price, then we can't approve it unless that person comes up with a bigger down payment.
Right. So
Like,
how
what's the
often,
difference in the
how
money,
often
isn't it?
though are you seeing that?
I've not seen that yet.
Oh.
Not, yeah, I've heard like in the previous market, in a more balanced market, when that would happen, yeah, either the deal had to be amended to accommodate the appraisal price,
That's right.
the borrower had to bring up the cash to suit the difference, or the deal died.
Yes, yeah.
Right, that's
Remember
why,
when we used to write that clause in?
yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When you, yeah,
I remember speaking to a mortgage broker last year, just not about a deal in particular, but she said to me that pretty soon, no, actually, this is a little over a year ago. She said pretty soon the banks and whatever are going to realize that these overpriced houses are not going to appraise, and there's the market is going to shift because of it. Meaning that the prices will go down because people aren't getting their financing and all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? That wasn't true.
no.
Like,
You know
at
what?
all.
We're price correcting our market right now is what we're doing.
Yes. And you know what? I mean, look at Ontario, look at Vancouver. That
Mhm.
has not
Wow.
changed at all.
I know.
So
Yeah,
we're
and how
following
is-
the same trend.
We're
And
catching
how
up.
is that going to change if the inventory isn't there?
Exactly,
Right?
supply and
There's no
demand.
inventory,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
yet
yeah,
there's
for sure.
It's
X
not.
number.
No.
Yeah,
No, it's
Exactly.
not.
Yeah.
No, we all
Ontario's
kind of thought of it.
market
Sorry,
has been like this since 2017.
yeah,
The banks are
not
in
as
the business of
crazy as the
lending
last 2
money.
years, but it's been super
Yeah.
crazy the last 2 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So supply and now you guys are finding that the supply isn't there.
Yes.
Am I correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
we've sold
Correct.
everything that actually is just barely standing up.
Mhm.
So true, Janice.
I have
Yeah.
a
I'm
condo
going
and build
to work without an offer.
I'm gonna build a tree house in my backyard. And I'm gonna see how many offers I get.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that I am doing a lot of now is construction mortgages. Huge amount of construction mortgages.
Mhm.
It is, I mean, it's a build, they're going up like crazy. So
But
that's
where
one
though?
big thing. The
Turn-
land out there is
Turnkey or
self-built,
contracted? Yeah.
self-built,
What is your like down payment and requirements for
same.
that?
5%. We need quotes and plans.
Quotes and plans.
Where
Yeah.
are people getting the land? Where's the land? Tell me.
All over the
Anybody?
place.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere. I don't
Just-
know.
Get off city services, and there's lots of
Holly,
land.
there's a
Oh.
couple of lots that just went up on Grand Lake. They're $950 a lot.
950,000? Oh, yeah, okay, I'll be right on that one then.
Yeah. No, I'm finding I've got some from in Mineville. I've got some off Montague Road. I've got, let me think, out in, a few out in Mineville. I'm seeing a few builds out in Mineville.
Still quite a bit
Then we're
of
going the other way out near Hubbard's and that way. I mean, none of them are in the city. Don't get me wrong. They're all rural,
Yeah,
but
no, yeah.
still,
And that's okay.
they're getting a lot of them. I've got a full filing cabinet, and that's where I'm sending the appraisers all the time and to do inspections. And that's what's taking so long too, because they have to do the
You're
inspection.
the problem.
Yeah, I know, eh?
So are you doing draw mortgages?
Yes, we do
For
draw
them?
mortgages. Yeah,
So is it a 3-step or a 4-step draw mortgage?
entirely up to the client
Okay,
because they
Good.
pay for the lawyer and the inspection.
okay.
Is it hard to get an appraiser now?
Well, you know what? I'm pretty okay. I mean, they'll go out. I just asked for one to go out next week and they're going to go out, but I can't say it's hard. I just call them up, send them out.
It just
So-
says, and anytime I've seen one, it takes forever to get an appraiser out there. You know, where before you might get them in a week, and now you could be waiting 3 weeks for an appraiser.
Oh, well, I'm not finding that. I've got a company that I deal with here in Dartmouth and they're very good. He's very, very good to me. He gets out. I mean, I needed a rush before Christmas and he was out the next day or 2 days later. And, you know, so they're pretty good with me. I send them out all the time.
That was ours.
Yeah, I know.
And he was up there pretty quick. It was
So
awesome.
Yeah.
are you finding, Pam, that they're doing exterior appraisals?
Not
still,
anymore.
or
They
they're
were
going
last
in?
year. Now they're going
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At the height of COVID, they were doing the exterior and asking clients for pictures on the inside. But now it's
Okay.
not like that. Yeah.
There's a question in the chat box from Anita, and she was just asking if you're finding if land is going for over ask prices as well.
You know what? I'm really not involved in that part of it. So I can't really say. I mean, the land that I'm seeing is, you know, I mean, outside it's $40,000, $45,000. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going over asking or not.
Last
I
year, I
don't-
think there was a lot of multiple offers on land, and I think it was-
Waterfront land.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just involved with one down here in Prospect, and they end up with 6 offers and went 40 grand over, I think. But it wasn't waterfront, but it had ocean view. I think
Yeah.
it was listed for 90 and sold for 135, I think, something like that.
Wow. 40,000 over. What a dream, hey?
Yeah, but it's just
No,
sticks
I
and
know.
stems.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
get a piece of land and that's it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I
A
know.
bet
couple
you
of spruce trees on a piece of granite.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not finishing their basements. What's happening?
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Back to the self-built like construction draw mortgages. I've dealt with buyers on the through another like major lender, and they want like 20% down with 20% in reserve, like to float you between draws. So that's not the case with credit union.
No.
Okay.
We don't need 20% down because we can do it as through the insurers, right? They
Yeah.
can get, and it's easier. I prefer it to be insured. And the reason I say that is because then CMHC or Genworth do the work. I just call them up and say, the client wants another draw. I send an email through, they tell me how much, we disperse the funds. We don't have to, there's nothing really involved in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll
Yes.
probably be in touch.
Construction mortgage. Thank you.
I won't get a single dollar out of it, but
Oh,
I have a close friend who wants to self-build, and I know he can, but he doesn't have 40% down, which most
Wow,
people
yeah.
don't.
yeah, no,
lot
we
of
don't
money.
require that at all.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions?
Mhm.
No. All right.
Everybody in the
Right.
class, right?
Pam, I can just say Pam has been amazing. She's worked with a couple of my clients and she has been excellent to deal with, very responsive, really great info and really good in communicating with clients. So
Thank you very much.
It's been very good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time today, Pam.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for
informative.
inviting me. And yeah, if you need anything, please let me know. And Vic has my contact information. And yeah, I try very, very hard to respond right away. I'm pretty active that way. So,
She is.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you very, very much. And it was nice to
Everyone.
see you all or speak to you
Thank
all.
you.
All right.
you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Enjoy the next one.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.